In 1817, a quiet farmhouse in Tennessee became the site of the most terrifying haunting in American history. It didn't just involve moving chairs or cold spots. It was an entity that could speak, predict the future, and eventually commit murder. Even Andrew Jackson, the future president, fled the property in terror, claiming he'd rather face an entire army than the Bell Witch. Today on Unsolved Files, we're uncovering the only case in history where a ghost was legally blamed for a man's death. What really happened on that farm? 1817. John Bell was a respected farmer, successful, religious. He lived with his wife Lucy and their children on a large farm in Robertson County, Tennessee, the kind of close-knit farming community where everyone went to the same church and everyone knew everyone's business. His youngest daughter, Elizabeth, they called her Betsy, was 12 years old. She would become the center of everything that followed. It started small, the kind of small you'd brush off if you didn't know what was coming. John saw a strange animal in the field, somewhere between a dog and a rabbit, and shot at it. It vanished before the bullet even mattered. A few nights later, a bird the size the family had never seen sat outside, staring. Then the knocking started. At first it was sounds, scratching on the outside walls, knocking on the door with no one there. The family told themselves it was rats, branches, wind. Then it came inside. Betsy's bed sheets were pulled off her body while she slept. Her hair was yanked, hard enough to wake her screaming. Her sister felt the same. The sounds moved room to room, like something pacing. John told no one outside the family at first. He didn't want the embarrassment. But it got worse fast enough that hiding it stopped being possible. And then, the knocking became a voice. At first it was barely audible, whispers. Then it grew clear enough to hold full conversations. It claimed to be, depending on the day, the spirit of a buried Native American, a witch, even a wandering spirit with no fixed name. It knew things it shouldn't have known. Private conversations, hidden thoughts, things only family members had said alone. Word spread. Neighbors came to witness it for themselves, and they did. Multiple visitors independently documented hearing the voice argue, sing hymns, recite Bible verses, and answer direct questions in real time. This wasn't one scared family's imagination anymore. This was dozens of witnesses across years. Here's where the story turns from disturbing to genuinely dangerous. The entity, whatever it was, developed a specific hatred for John Bell himself. It mocked him. It physically attacked him, slapping him, causing his face to contort and stiffen, even at one point swelling his tongue so badly he couldn't eat for days. And then it said something that should have ended this as a ghost story and turned it into something far darker. It told the family, outright, that it intended to kill John Bell. On December 20th, 1820, John Bell was found unconscious. A strange vial of dark liquid was discovered near him. Nobody in the house recognized it. When a small amount was tested on a cat, the animal reportedly died almost instantly. John Bell died the next day, and according to multiple witnesses present in the house, the voice was laughing. It openly claimed responsibility, said it had given him the poison, and that it was glad he was gone. After John Bell's death, the entity grew quieter. It made one final, strange promise, that it would return in 7 years. According to local accounts, it did, briefly. Then it was gone for good. No official cause of death exists for John Bell beyond what witnesses described. No autopsy in the modern sense, just a community of people, preachers, farmers, neighbors, family, who all told strikingly consistent versions of the same impossible story for the rest of their lives. This wasn't some legend that grew in the retelling decades later. This was documented while it was happening, by people with names, reputations, and nothing obvious to gain by lying. So what actually happened here? Some historians point to Betsy herself, suggesting an elaborate, sustained hoax, possibly tied to her resistance to a marriage her father was pushing. Others point to undiagnosed illness, both in Betsy and in John Bell, mistaken for supernatural attack in an era with no medical explanation for neurological symptoms. And then, there are those who simply say, the witnesses were right. Something was there. Something intelligent, something angry, and something that got exactly what it wanted. 200 years later, no explanation fully accounts for everything that was witnessed by everyone who witnessed it. That's why this file stays open. If a case like this, fully documented, multiple witnesses, no clean explanation, doesn't unsettle you a little, I don't know what will. This is exactly the kind of file we'll be opening every week on Unsolved Files. Real cases, real witnesses. No exaggeration needed, because the truth here was already strange enough. If you want to be here when we open the next one, subscribe now, because some of these cases are far stranger than this one. And I'm not going to be loud about it. I'm just going to tell you what happened.